Jessica Koch, and yes, we are back, and this is Profound Professionals. It is the interview series that has been coming to you for 9 years. We have combed the planet and have brought you over 1,000 industry experts from all over our beautiful marble, and they help improve your personal life or help you grow your business. Today we have Robert Lane. He is going to help you discover, and maybe me discover, the DNA of our very voice, right? He helps nonfiction authors narrate and publish their own audiobooks. He is an audiobook coach and producer and a transformational speaker. We'll find that out now. We'll test that sauce. And he's also a #1 best-selling author. We'll talk about his book later in the show. You know how it goes. All right. Well, welcome, Robert.
All right. Boy, I'm excited to be here. I want to match your energy.
Exciting show. It's an exciting place to be. So tell us, how did you become the guy who talked about everyone's voice DNA? How did that become a thing?
Well, I worked 30 plus years in the entertainment business, and when that career ended, I wanted to reinvent myself. So I became a coach, started Robert Lane Coaching as a career coach / life coach. I did write a book, and being an audio guy, it's like, well, I got to turn that into an audiobook, of course. So I did. And then I had authors approaching me saying, how do you do that? So I expanded my business and created an audiobook coaching program to help authors through the process of creating an audiobook. And the key factor, of course, is narrating it in your own voice, because again, every voice has its own DNA.
It does. And you know what? I'm going to tell you, I've listened to many, many audiobooks and I read a ton. But when I listen to someone's audiobook, I almost immediately go buy the hardback because I feel like I have this personal relationship with this person who's opened up and shared all these amazing things with me. And even though I don't know them, I have reached out to them on LinkedIn, had live conversations with really famous authors, all because I felt like I knew them.
That is such a great point. And that's something that I talk to the authors a lot, when they say, well, why should I do this? Because you do develop an intimate connection. That listener feels like you're telling your story directly to them. And that's such a great connection.
It is. And just like when I have a mirror here on my desk, and even if you're just on the phone, they say you can hear a smile in someone. And, that was something I learned really a very long time ago. So always keep one on my desk, not so that I can make sure my lipstick's not on my teeth. Okay, that's part of the reason. But the other reason is that if I'm on the phone, I can remember to smile. When you see yourself and you look like the straight-faced, frowny face, you go, oh, I think I need to smile. So I love that. So talk to us about the kind of clients you're working with and how you're working with them. Is it one-on-one? Is it group? Is it online, virtual? Are we doing courses? How's that going?
So the audiobook coaching program that I teach is a 6-week program, and you really can record, narrate, and be published on Audible, Amazon, and Apple within that 6-week period. I do one-on-one coaching because I've found that the authors prefer one-on-one because a lot of their stories are memoirs, or maybe they wrote a book about a traumatic experience and they just feel more comfortable working on a one-on-one basis, which is great. And I love doing that. It's really exciting to help them through the process because, recording an audiobook, it is a process and sometimes it could feel overwhelming. So as a coach, I want to be able to help them bring out their confidence. Love their voice. I mean, how many times have you heard, oh, I hate my voice. I don't like how I sound. It's like, no, your voice is part of your author brand. Your voice is part of what makes you, you. That's what makes you so unique. And that is a crucial part of, again, your author brand. So telling your story, especially with nonfiction authors, it's your story, your experience. No one can express it the way that you lived it. I mean, you can have the best narrator in the world and they technically will sound great, but from an emotional standpoint, they didn't live what you lived. They didn't write your book, and they're going to interpret it their way, not your way. So it is so important for the author to speak it in their own voice.
I totally agree that. It's funny you talk about not liking the sound of your voice. One of the other things that I wonder if anyone else has experienced is when I hear my sister or my mother or, one of my daughters as a relative, you hear their voice and it sounds like you. Like I've had my husband answers the phone and he's not sure if it's me or my daughter, because we have that similarity. But It's fascinating that that runs in the family as well. I guess part of that's accent and DNA, like you talked about. So
Oh, you're just sharing just a little bit of DNA, but you're still unique. You're still unique.
that's right. We got our own sprinkle of style.
That's right.
How would they find you if they wanted to do some work one-on-one with you?
Best place is just to go to my website, robertlanecoaching.com. What I do with before I enroll anybody into the program is we have a conversation, because I'm a firm believer that human connection is key. I don't believe in sending someone to a landing page where you scroll, 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 give me your credit card. That's so impersonal. I like to talk to the author, find out more about their book, what they want to do with it, what their strategy and their goals are. And then I'll give them all the details about the program. And if they resonate with me and I resonate with them, we get enrolled. In 6 weeks, you got yourself an audiobook.
I love that. I love that. It sounds like a lot of fun too. So give everyone a tip if they're thinking about trying to crack this code, or they're on their journey already and they're already creating audiobooks. What's a tip you could give someone?
I would say my number one tip would be your true authentic self. Don't try to sound like anybody. Don't try to, be, I'm radio DJ voice, or I'm, just be yourself, because you know what, again, that's part of who you are. That is what makes you so unique. And that uniqueness is what allows you to stand out in a crowd. So just be your authentic self.
I love that. I love that. Well, since the very first show, and you know that out there already, you're watching, you're listening, you know that it's time to start typing in the comments and in the chats below of the different places our show is located, and share with us the cause that's close to your heart. We always ask our guests to share a cause because we're hoping to inspire a little bit of joy, a little bit of awareness, some good in the world. So if you can give time, treasure, or talent to Robert's cause, or put a cause of your own in there, and someone just hits the share button and we spread some awareness about some causes that can serve people who need these services, then hey, we have done something good today. You guys are a hero. All right, Robert, share with us a cause that you care about.
There's an organization, this is in Los Angeles, and they're called Hope Gardens. And Hope Gardens is a place where women and children, or either they were living on the street, or they had a very abusive relationship and they have nowhere to go. So it's a place for them to rebuild themselves and then to go back into society, but now with tools to be able to survive on their own, and for their kids to survive as well, and to get out of a toxic relationship. So big advocate of that.
Everybody deserves a safe space. I love that.
Yes.
Sharing that cause. That's awesome. All right, don't stop typing. You know what's next. Robert's, he's new here. He's going to catch on quick. But you guys know that you're supposed to be typing the book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business. Or also you could share a book that you wrote. So put that in there. And when someone is kind enough to hit that share button, we just might be featuring you as an author. And hey, is it an audiobook? Maybe you should be talking to Robert. All right, Robert, how about a book that inspired your personal life or helped you grow your business?
There's a book that's called The Body Keeps the Score. And it's about trauma, and it's about how our body does get affected by all the things that happen to us. And it's a way of being able to help yourself physically, not only mentally, but physically, to release these things that we hang on to. And that's really, really important, because I'm definitely one of those people, just hold it in and hold it in. And you physically feel the difference. You can make yourself sick because of that. So I found that a very inspirational book.
The Body Keeps the Score.
Yeah, The Body Keeps the Score.
Wow, that's fantastic. And you are a best-selling author. So talk to us about your book.
Yeah, it's a book here. It's called Lights Action You. This is about, because people were saying, oh, you've worked 30 plus years in the entertainment industry. You must have some stories to tell. So I wrote this book, and I share experiences and stories from the business. But with each story, I tie a tool or technique or a life lesson, because I want people to get more value out of it. So, how to deal with toxic bosses, how to time manage, how to do these other things. And so I'll share a behind the scenes story from being in the industry, and then give you some key tips of what I learned and some tools that you can utilize. And you can utilize it, in your job or in your personal life. So that's what the book's about.
So what was the funniest story in the book?
The funniest story, well, geez, there's actually a few of them.
say on social media.
Yeah, right. I'd say one of them was I happened to be in the kitchen because I worked at 20th Century Fox for about 14 years. And I'm heating up my leftover Korean food, and there's a couple guys sitting at the table. And one guy says, "Hey, what you cooking over there?" And I said, "Oh, my leftover food." It was Robert Downey Jr. And he gets up and he outstretches his hand and he goes, "Hi, I'm Robert." And I knew who he was, And I go, "Really?" I go, "Wow, that's great. I'm Robert too." We shake hands, and then he goes into we have this big conversation about kimchi. So it was really nice guy. It was a thrill to meet him in person.
And what is your life tip associated with heating up your leftover Korean food?
Well, he found out that I'm really not a kimchi fan. But but I do enjoy Korean food. A life tip, I think it does tie back to what I mentioned earlier about being your true authentic self, because that really is what's so important, is that we embrace the person that we are. We love the person that we are, and you should, and just be your true authentic self, because that's, again, what makes you so unique.
And remember that your sparks and your sparkle and your personality live in your voice. Robert, it has been so much fun to interview you today on our show. I hope you had a good time too.
Oh, no, this is a blast. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Jessica.
And in the blink. So, but if you're thinking, "Hey, I'm an industry expert. I have skills. I have things to offer the world. I can help improve someone's personal life or grow their business." Well, then you know what to do. Reach out to us and our team, and we just might be featuring you. But before we go today, we're going to ask Robert to share a final thought, a piece of information or inspiration as we go.
How about this? Love your voice, period. Just love your voice. Love this wonderful sound that comes out of your body, because that is part of what makes you so unique. So embrace your uniqueness.
I love that. Love your voice. All right, everyone. You know I love my voice. I'm an Italian who likes to talk and who likes to hear herself talk. So until next time, I'm your host, Jessica Koch. This has been another Profound Professionals. And until next time, be kind to yourself out there and be kind to each other. Bye, everybody.